She didn't have a childhood. She grew up fast, carrying roles, responsibilities, and the weight of surviving. She became the strong one, the fixer, the one everyone forgot about. She started believing she was hard to love. So when someone gave her a little attention, she gave them a whole heart, even if they didn't treat her right, because all she wanted was to be chosen, to matter, even just for a little while. Wow. Shout out to SCVFTG podcast for sharing this quote. This is so deep. This is so powerful. This is the story of many of you who are listening. You know, you were somebody who had to experience adulthood, what it's like to be an adult from an early age. Maybe you were the oldest sibling. Maybe you were the black sheep of the family. But whoever you were, you did not get to enjoy your childhood like most other kids, right? You know, you couldn't freely express yourself. You couldn't be that happy-go-lucky child that just didn't have to have any worries, right? A lot of you guys experience trauma very early on in your life, like that no child should have to experience. And a lot of these burdens were placed on you unnecessary, right? And you had to show up and be somebody that you were not. You know, as a kid, you had to learn how to protect yourself. You had to learn how to protect other people. And like this quote said, you had to become the strong one. You know, so from a very early on, you dealt with things that you had no business dealing with, collective. And as you got older, you kind of just got comfortable in this role of, you know, being that fixer and overgiver and helper. And so even like within your family, you were probably the one that was kind of like the one that everybody dumped all of their stuff on or could point the blame at you. You were the scapegoat for a lot of your family, collective. And because you weren't properly, because you didn't have anybody that would really guide you in a proper way and show up for you the way you needed, and because you were that support and that scapegoat for a lot of people, you just took on this role, right? And throughout, as you got older, you know, you just accepted it. Like, this is you know what I'm saying? You just got used to being overlooked. You got used to not being respected. You got used to trying to fix everybody else's problems, right? And it's because you were around a lot of selfish people, a lot of people who didn't care to help, didn't care to hurt you, right? And it's just crazy because maybe you, like this quote says, anybody who would give you a little attention, you started to overgive, right? You were somebody who had a pure heart. You've always had this kindness about you, right? And people would take advantage of you left and right. Because in your home, in your family, as a child who was actually an adult or had to be an adult early, you weren't given that love. You weren't given that attention. You weren't given that respect, right? You were the outcast. You were the one that people try to belittle and make you feel so small and unimportant, right? So when you got out into the world, when someone showed you a little bit of attention, when someone tried to show up and just was that, like, you overdid it because you felt like you had to overcompensate, right? You felt like, oh, by giving your heart and overgiving and oversharing and doing all of this for people, you thought that would get people to like you, get people to accept you, get people to approval of you, right? And Maybe it worked for a while. Maybe you felt like, okay, you were being accepted, but really they were taking advantage, right? Because a lot of people aren't used to your kindness. A lot of people aren't used to the heart that you have, right, collective? And so if you're just over giving freely and you weren't even expecting anything back, this is a type of selfless person you are, collective. You were just giving, giving, giving without asking for anything in return. You didn't want anything in return other than just to feel accepted, just to feel loved by them, right? Just to feel included, right? And so you went through most of your life just not even knowing that these people were taking advantage of you, right? Because you just wanted to be accepted. And even when you did know that people were taking advantage of you or treating you wrong, again, you did not care because you just tolerated it. You tolerated this disrespect, like, okay, well, it's okay because at least, they invite me out. At least we go out to, at least we go out to dinner, or at least we go here and there. It's okay if they don't really like me. It's okay if they try to embarrass me or make me the blunt of their joke because, hey, at least I'm going out. At least I feel like I'm accepted, right? This is you, maybe subconsciously or consciously, right? You kept it up. You continue to go with these types of people because that you just wanted to feel accepted and loved, right? But then it got to a point, collective, where you literally just, you couldn't take it anymore. But see, what I wanted to tell you is that God sees everything, collective. God has seen everything from your childhood up until now. He's seen how your heart was. He's seen how good you were to people and they still betrayed you. He's seen that you still remained with an open heart and a loving heart. Your the way that your posture of how your heart is. You didn't turn bitter. You might have went through periods of depression and sadness, but it's like every time you met somebody new or in a new experience, you still had this open heart, this loving, giving generosity. And that doesn't go unnoticed. God sees it all. And so because he's seen you struggle so much, you're entering a season, or you are in a season where God is spoiling you. You're about to be a spoiled brat by the Most High, collective. Like, you are so loved, and God wants to continue to shower you and pour love into you. But he needed you to get away from these types of people. He needed you to really see who you are, see your worth, and see what they were doing, right? He needed you to, he already cleared that path, but he needed you to clear your own path and get out your own way. Because a lot of these people that were attached to you, they were attached to you because they seen how great you were going to be. They seen how good and kind and loving you were, right? And so they were sucking you dry. But God said, before I could pour into you and give you more, you have to detach from these people. And so now, because you have detached from these people and you move differently now, collective, God is spoiling you. He's bringing those people who you deserve. He's bringing those blessings and the opportunities that you deserve, right? But he's always seen the greatness in you. He just wanted you to see the greatness in you too, collective. And I know it's been a long time coming. You've been through a lot. You have a lot of scars and battle wounds. But that was not in vain at all, because you were able to take what little you were given in life and make it something so grand, right? See, the goal of the enemy, the opposition, was to crush your heart and turn your light into darkness. But you did not allow that to happen, collective. You did not turn cold and bitter. And because of that, you're about to be greatly rewarded by the Most High. A very, very powerful message, collective. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If this sounds like it resonates with you in any way, let me know down in the comments below. And if this is your first time here on my channel, and you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. I would definitely love to have you a part of our tribe, okay? We are growing and we are flowing, guys. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support. I love y'all. It's Karkar. I'll talk to you later. Bye.